So I've been the councillor representing Meir Park, either in its current composition as Meir Park Ward or before that as part of a larger ward since 2010. Lots and lots of things really over that time. The thing that I'm most proud of in that time is getting the community hall reopened and getting a group in there who are doing great things. It's really difficult, the longer you're a councillor, finding new things to kind of get involved with. But I think one of the nicest things, particularly, for example, with that project, is the fact that being able to work with them means that they've been able to evolve as a group. So what originally started as just opening the community hall back up again is now kind of evolving into something that is going even further to meet the needs of the community. So they're looking at the moment to open a coffee bar in there and redevelop the kind of the land around it to provide soft play for children and also kind of outreach community services in there. But I know also from my residents that things like the roads are really important to them. So I think almost every road is in a great condition in Meir Park. Lots of resurfacing that's happened, and in the last few months I've been able to achieve getting the last bit of slabbed pavement in my ward replaced with tarmac, which might seem like a really small thing, but actually for the residents who live there in Catcham's Corner, that's an absolutely massive thing. Often it's the small things I've found over the last 8 years that make the most difference. So a few years ago there was only myself and my colleague who were Conservatives on the council of Stoke-on-Trent, and somebody said to me once that the two of us were really nice people, but we'd never be able to make a change and influence things. But I like to think that the hard work that we've done. I still go out in my ward virtually every week. I'm regularly seen around in the ward. I go shopping in Tesco and do all the things that I always did that got me standing there in the first place. I think that that's delivered results elsewhere. People have seen that I've worked hard for my area in Meir Park, so they've elected councillors elsewhere, Conservative councillors. And one of the proudest things is being able to see that all my colleagues are working hard in the same way that I have in their area. You know, we've gone from that position where I was a nice person but I could never make a change to being actually somebody who's not only making a change in their own ward, I'm making a change with my colleagues across the whole city. I've been deputy leader of the council since 2015, and probably my proudest moment, and there've been a lot, so I'm going to cheat a bit and use two. One of them was in December 2017 when I stood on the dockside in an absolutely freezing hall for several hours with people from Stoke-on-Trent to be told that we hadn't won UK City of Culture 2021. But having got to that point, bearing in mind that 18 months ago people had told me I was completely crazy for us wanting to enter the competition, was really sad, but actually it was really empowering because I know my city can be better, and I proved in 18 months that we could go from being the absolute underdog to being within a whisker of getting it. So although we didn't get it, it was a big turning point. The other proudest moment was in 2018 when I was able to reveal the installation of the poppies from the Tower of London at Middlefort Pottery. It's one of the first campaigns I've been involved with since becoming deputy leader in 2015. We'd worked really hard to secure it in the first place after having been knocked back, and we had quite a long time before it kind of came to fruition in 2018. But to see that sculpture on an iconic bottle kiln that could be nowhere else but Stoke-on-Trent. I first stood to be a councillor because I thought there weren't enough people like me on the council. When I first stood, I just had my son, and he wasn't at school age, so I was going to lots of kind of classes and things like that and activities with him. And obviously it's been a challenge juggling having a small child and then having another child as well while I was a councillor, with being a councillor. But I felt that it's given me the opportunity to kind of put that voice forward from people like me. My husband works, he doesn't work locally, so often I'm on my own doing things. I'm after things to do with my kids. That's not changed as they've got older. I'm still after things to do with my kids, and I love living in the city, and I know that this is an absolutely brilliant place to raise a family, and that's one of my driving forces for being a councillor, wanting to make this the city I know it can be for people like me.